will say there is a scene, people often ask me if this is true, and it is true. There was a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio, who's so brilliant in the film, actually smashed glass and had a bloody hand.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the times actors somehow managed to improve a scene by messing things up. Number 10, breaking a toilet, The Master.
Just me, Freddie. Just you. I'm the only one that likes you.
Joaquin Phoenix plays Freddy, a troubled World War II veteran who's prone to violent outbursts. After he finds himself getting sucked in by a cult, he and the cult leader get arrested and tossed in jail. Freddy erupts in anger, doing his best to destroy his prison cell even though his hands are cuffed behind his back. Phoenix didn't break the toilet on purpose. In fact, he didn't even realize he could break the toilet when he kicked it. The accidental destruction perfectly illustrates the pointlessness of Freddy's rage. It's harmful to himself and those around him, and yet he can't contain it.
Been implanted with a push-pull mechanism that keeps you fearful of authority and destructive.
Number 9, an expensive sneeze, Annie Hall. In this classic rom-com, Alvy and his girlfriend Annie are hanging out with some friends when they pressure him to try cocaine.
I don't want to put a wad of white powder in my nose. There's the nasal membrane.
You never want to try anything new, Alvy.
How can you say that?
He's never touched the stuff before, and doesn't seem particularly interested in doing so now. He picks up the box to examine it, and just as his friend tells him how expensive it is, he sneezes, blasting the white powder everywhere. That sneeze was not in the script. It happened during rehearsals by accident, and Woody Allen thought it was so funny he put it in the movie. That was a smart move because test audiences cracked up at the now famous gag. Number 8, accidentally recreating an iconic scene, Casino Royale. One of the most memorable scenes from the James Bond franchise is in the very first Bond film, Dr. No, when the gorgeous Ursula Andress emerges from the ocean in a white bikini. 40 years later, Die Another Day paid homage to the scene with Halle Berry and Pierce Brosnan. And just 4 years after that, Daniel Craig recreated the scene again. According to the script, Bond is supposed to keep swimming, but Craig ran into a sandbar and had to stand up. The similarities between this scene and the version from Dr. No were obvious to everyone. Craig might not be thrilled about how famous the shot has become, but it certainly did not hurt his image.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize the repercussions of it. I had no idea that it was going to be sort of as, goes. I'd be haunted by it for the rest of my life.
Number 7, George C. Scott trips and falls, Dr. Strangelove. Comedy often doesn't age well, but this movie is an exception. Stanley Kubrick's 1964 satire about an impending nuclear apocalypse is packed with laugh-out-loud moments and ridiculous characters.
You mean people could actually stay down there for 100 years?
It would not be difficult, mein Führer. Nuclear reactors could... I'm sorry, Mr. President.
And none more so than George C. Scott's General Buck Turgidson.
I'm beginning to smell a big, fat, commie rat. I mean, supposing Kissoff is lying about that fourth plane, just looking for an excuse to clobber us. I mean, if the spaghetti hits a fan now, we're in trouble.
Scott was known for playing serious figures, so his over-the-top portrayal of Turgidson was a departure from his usual routine.
It's down to a safe level after 2 weeks.
You've obviously never heard of Cabal Thorium-G.
Well, what about it?
In this scene, a group of officials discuss the fallout of nuclear war, and Turgidson, as usual, is flipping out. At one point, he slips and falls, makes a surprisingly graceful recovery, and carries on as if nothing happened.
I mean, trick, Mr. President, we're wasting valuable time. Look at they going. They're getting ready to clobber us.
The fall was a complete accident, but Scott, a consummate professional, stayed in character, and Kubrick kept it in. Number 6, a tablecloth trick works too well, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
Jim Carrey is a master improviser, and some of his funniest movie moments were not in the original scripts.
Run for your life before I kill again!
Case in point, this scene in which the Grinch gets ready to attend a Whoville Christmas celebration. When Carrey grabs the tablecloth, he's supposed to send everything on the table clattering to the floor, but the trick works a little too well. In a moment of comedic genius, he comes back into frame and just knocks everything over himself. It's an unexpectedly hilarious improvisation, made even funnier by Carrey's gift for physical comedy. Number 5, an unplanned frisbee bite, The Mask.
Please! Open up!
Oh my God.
Jim Carrey's improv skills saved the day again, but this time, he wasn't the one who messed up the scene. As his character Stanley tries to hide the evidence of his crimes from a nosy detective, his dog Milo spots a frisbee in Stanley's hand and just can't help himself. Milo, whose real name was Max, hangs on for dear life despite Stanley's attempts to wrench the frisbee away from him.
No! Stop it! I'm coming! Okay, I'm coming! I'll be right there!
A lesser actor would have broken character, but this is Jim Carrey. Max's commitment to the bit, and Carrey's decision to just roll with it, make for an unplanned piece of comedy gold.
Don't insult my intelligence, Ipkiss. He robs the bank you work in, and then I find this in the Coco Bongo.
Number 4, Bart's laugh, Blazing Saddles. You try keeping a straight face in the presence of Gene Wilder. It's practically impossible. In this scene, the Waco kid has a heart-to-heart with Sheriff Bart about why the townsfolk won't accept a black lawman.
What did you expect? Welcome, Sonny. Make yourself at home. Marry my daughter.
It's obvious that Cleavon Little is stifling a smile throughout Wilder's monologue, and at the end, he breaks into a genuine laugh. And who can blame him? Wilder's delivery is brilliant.
The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
Although Little technically broke character, the scene is that much funnier for it. Mel Brooks obviously agreed, since he used that take in the final cut.
Did you hear that? Now it's please. This morning I couldn't get the time of day.
Number 3, confusing Ant-Man for Spider-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
You're the bugman. You get big and small like a big bug.
You're right. That's me. Just a coffee, please.
$12.
This mistake was so unintentionally hilarious, they put it in the trailer. Scott is enjoying his newfound fame as an Avenger, but he realizes he's not quite at the top of the A-list when his local barista confuses him for a different red-costumed hero.
But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man!
That's Cuban actor Ruben Rabasa, who was thrilled to be involved with a Marvel movie, even though he wasn't super familiar with this film's main character. Rabasa wasn't supposed to call Scott Spider-Man, but the flub and Paul Rudd's absolutely perfect reaction were so good, they made it into the movie. The line is so funny, it's hard to believe it wasn't scripted.
When I say thank you, Spider-Man, everybody go, what? What did he say? I said, what are they laughing about? I thought I was doing the right thing. No, I made a mistake.
Number 2, StarLord Drops the Orb, Guardians of the Galaxy.
We're stuck together until we get the money.
I have no interest in money.
Great.
The jury is still out on whether this was truly a mistake or just a last-minute improv. Chris Pratt originally claimed that it was an accident, and director James Gunn said as much in the DVD commentary.
This was not planned. Chris actually dropped the orb. And then he, of course, recovered it with humor, but he actually dropped the orb. That was not planned at all.
Later, Pratt changed his story and said he dropped the orb on purpose, but Gunn wasn't 100% convinced that was true.
Let us see what you brought.
Whatever the case may be, it is a hilarious moment that fits perfectly with both Peter Quill's character and the tone of the film. Kudos to Chris Pratt for either a clever improvisation or a quick recovery. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Leonardo DiCaprio cuts his hand, Django Unchained. Staying in character after slicing your hand open mid-scene? Now that's dedication. Calvin Candy has just discovered that his dinner guests are there under false pretenses, and he is not happy about it. When DiCaprio slammed the table, he accidentally smashed a glass and cut his hand pretty badly.
Hey! Lay your palm flat on that tabletop! If you lift those palms off that turtle shell tabletop, Mr. Pooch is gonna let loose with both barrels of that sawed off.
Amazingly, he finished the scene, but the horrified looks on his co-stars' faces are totally real. When Quentin Tarantino finally called cut, they gave DiCaprio a standing ovation.
There was a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio, who's so brilliant in the film, actually smashed glass and had a bloody hand and finished the scene with a bloody hand.
2015's The Hateful Eight also includes a mistake that shocked the rest of the cast. The guitar that Kurt Russell smashed was a real antique on loan from a museum, and Jennifer Jason Leigh's shocked reaction was genuine.
Music time's over.
Needless to say, the museum was not happy. Which actor mistake do you think enhanced the scene the most? Let us know in the comments.
Our parents just died.
Oh, yes, of course. How very, very awful. Wait. Let me do that one more time. Give me the line again. Quickly, while it's fresh in my mind.
Our parents just died?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.